Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pre-show.
It's Monday.
It's a Monday. And it feels like Monday. All right. Let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. You know what? I can lower my camera just a touch. There we go. And my mic, I can lower that. There we go. So, all right. I think we're ready, sir. Are you feeling ready?
Yeah, I'm just doing some last minute homework here to talk about what we're going to talk about tonight.
Oh, what we're going to talk about. Well, it's good that you do some homework. I did
I
not.
almost started Canadian there. I almost did a boot.
Yes, I never do homework, so this is a good thing. All right. Let's see. All right, I think we're ready, I guess. I guess we should get over the red button.
Okay.
All right, you red button in it?
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's start recording in 3, 2, 1. Click. Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the PlanesTalkers podcast, a show by casuals for casuals. I'm your host, Will Benson, joined as always by my, damn it, I couldn't think of any smart aleck thing to say right here and now, co-host Aramis Perez. Aramis, how are you tonight, sir?
Monday.
It's definitely Monday. I'm blaming the COVID vaccine. Let's, All right, we're in Untap, Upkeep, and Draw, and you know what that means. Before we begin tonight, we'd like to remind you that this episode and every episode of the PlanesTalkers podcast is sponsored by Kerwin's Game Store. Kerwin's Game Store is New York State's premier source for collectible card games, tabletop games, miniatures, comic books, retro video games, and toys. With their clean, open gaming areas available to everyone at no charge someday, maybe if COVID ever leaves, Kerwin's wants to provide, and they do provide, a fun and inviting atmosphere for new and experienced gamers alike. With locations in both Catskill, New York, and also on the second floor of the Poughkeepsie Galleria in Poughkeepsie, New York, Kerwin's is the absolute best place in gaming. Now, they have a wonderful website. You can find them at KGS, that's KiteGoSamuelOnline.com, that's KGSOnline.com. And don't forget, you do get 5% off any online order when you use the promo code PlanesTalkers at checkout. We also want to remind you guys that we want to recognize our Planeswalker patrons. David, Jonathan, Johnny, Bell, Anthony, Steve, George, Josh, Ian, Spencer, and our newest patron, who actually sent me a letter this week telling me, hey, let me see, what did he say in here? He basically told us what's up. So it was actually in my Discord. So let me pull that up because I thought it was rather humorous because I think he got a kick out of it. He said, hey there, I'm the new patron, and I did send you a message on Patreon about how I changed my name for other podcasts and that you should just call me out as Chiba Tank. But it was fun listening to you try and struggle through. Keep up the great work, and I'll try to make it into the next tournament. So our latest person is not called PBLNB Ohm Your Monk. Oh, God, he already does have a new name. He just wants to be called Chiba Tank. So, Chiba Tank, thank you also very much for coming alongside. Guys, as you know, these people help the show out in so many ways. It's hard for us to say exactly how. Because it's almost in every aspect now. We have a ton of great perks for them. The biggest is obviously getting the chance to play with us on Wednesdays during Commander Craft. Our broadcast is Wednesday night, 7 Eastern. I think we have at least one listener for that this week because we're playing the pre-con. So, and if you want to get in on that or anything else, go to patreon.com/PlanesTalkers. But we are an Untap, and we have a tradition here that I untap during Untap. So tonight I'm untapping Samuel Adams' new Lawn Chair Lager. So this is refreshing and bright, they say. So we'll see about that.
But
it's a nice
actually
low
green?
Power. So what's that?
Is the label actually green?
The label is green.
Okay, so it's not invisible beer.
No, what's nice is that I'm using X video cam, so their system is a little bit XSplit VCam. That's what I'm using. So hey Tanner, how are you, buddy? So yeah, this is great. 4.5. You should be perfectly fine, Aramis. I will not go off the rails tonight.
No, I don't believe you.
Oh dear.
4.5.
Oh wow, that is
4.5.
that is a very strange taste, almost skunky. Oh, I don't like it. I mean, I'll finish it because I don't believe in alcohol abuse. But oh, oh yeah, I don't even think my wife's gonna like that. And that's it. I got that from her side of the drawer. So I'm gonna just say, Aramis, how the hell are you? You should try this.
This is why I don't drink.
Yes, it's probably a good idea. Here it comes. Here it comes. Wendy's tried it.
Thank you.
What, you like it?
Yes.
Okay. I've lost my beer.
Well, I
Aramis.
mean, I guess it's not a bad thing since you didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that. In fact, you know what? Professional or not, keep talking.
What? Yep, leave me. What? Oh. Okay, so this is our chance, guys. So if we can get into his house and take all of his cards, he can't play anymore. And
Never knew I needed
then
backup before.
everything goes, everything goes according to plan. And then everything else was going great this weekend. Yeah, this was really awesome.
Yeah?
Oh, hey, you're back.
I'm back.
We weren't talking about anything at all.
No. So how the hell are you, sir?
I am I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It was a good weekend. Opened up some more boosties of Strixhaven. Got
As
myself
did
a
I.
couple of demonic tutors, which was very nice.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous of that. I actually opened another collector booster and not a demonic tutor. I did get 2 Teferi protections though.
That's
One of
nice.
them Japanese. I think
That's
one of
still
them
very
Japanese foil, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's pretty good still. That's still pretty good. But I they immediately went into commander decks that I'm building. I got a few pieces for several of the couple dozen decks that I'm working on, and I'm hoping that the Strixhaven commander decks have more pieces for me. And
They
but other
do.
than that,
They have
I've
a lot
been
of good stuff in them.
I've been playing arena, not
Oh.
the ranked queues, all casual stuff, and just having fun playing the game, casting spells, and that's the most important thing.
Well, that's good. This weekend I got the COVID vaccine Thursday. So Friday I actually was smart and took the day off. I'm glad I did. This thing, it didn't kick my butt, it wiped me out. Like I was just fatigued the entire weekend. But I actually think I'm also fighting some sort of sinus thing because I also have a terrible sinus headache right now. So
That could just be the fact that the trees are going absolutely fucking bonkers.
yeah, I've never had allergies before, but it's possible because I'm wicked old now. So
And that can happen at any time.
yes. So, but I mean, other than that, I mean, pretty quiet. The kids were here. We gotta shut the youngest kid down, but that's a fun day. He got a little love note from the school today. His art teacher's
Ooh.
like, yeah, he hasn't turned in a project. He's actually 2 parts behind. Oh, and he hasn't come to class. So, yeah, we're pretty much like, okay, you're losing all of your privileges as far as gaming goes, which sucks because he's my gamer buddy. And yeah, we're locking his ass down. So
That's what's got to happen.
So yeah, it's
That's
yeah,
hard.
Johnny. If you get the second shot, this is going to anybody. If you have the ability, if you have the means to be able to do it, take the day off. Like the next day, just plan to take it off. I told my boss if I felt good, I'd just work from home that day. I did not feel up to working from home that day. I was glad I took it off.
Yeah, my second dose is actually this Friday. So,
Right. So he'll
in the
take
morning,
Saturday
though.
off.
Yeah,
In the
I'm taking
morning?
the weekend off. It's about mid morning, like 10 o'clock. So, and it's the Moderna, which from what I've heard is the one that can really kick your butt.
Any chance you could take Friday afternoon off, or
If I feel bad, yeah,
Okay.
they'd be like, yeah, absolutely. But luckily my job is from home anyway,
Right.
which has
Well,
been fantastic.
some companies are actually like giving you an extra day, like for vaccinations. They're like, no, vaccine day, take a day off. So
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, my
lucky-
company charged my freaking time off, but what are you gonna do?
I mean, I was able to schedule the first shot on a Friday purposely, because that's what we were looking for. Because it's like
Right.
if there was any way I could do it without having to take time, great.
Right.
I don't mind being comatose for the weekend, but I'm happy that this week is finally here. I want to get the second shot. I want to have, just take a little bit off of the anxiety that this stupid disease causes,
Right.
and be like, all right,
exactly.
I can still get COVID. That is 100% true. Even with if you're vaccinated, I can 100% get COVID.
Oh, so I
What the
probably
vaccine
should.
does,
I shouldn't have started licking doorknobs again. Damn it.
I mean, it's never a good idea to begin with, but
What? I've been doing that for years.
all it does is just it makes it so that you're that like a million% less likely to end up in the hospital or dead, which is
Right.
very inconvenient.
So I can go back to licking doorknobs. That's good. All right.
Nobody
'Cause
ever really stopped you from doing it. It's just
no, it just
the
seemed like a bad idea. I actually thought it would be rude of me to be licking doorknobs during the pandemic. Like people get upset if you don't wear a mask. I imagine if somebody saw somebody licking doorknobs, that they would probably take that very personally. I would probably get there'd be a phone call to
well, I mean,
to some sort of authority.
as long as you're putting like Lysol or barbecue sauce on the doorknob first, you should be fine.
Oh, barbecue sauce, absolutely. I never
Yeah,
thought
but
of that. I've been
it's got to
using
have
ranch
like
dressing, but I mean, it's such a
no,
metal
no.
taste on it.
It's got to be barbecue sauce, but it's got to have like the chipotle or like the habanero, something spicy on the back end. To
See, I can't do
that's on
spice anymore. I'm fat, and I got the agita working, man. I can't even have my garbage plates no more. So what the heck is that? Oh,
it. You just pop a couple of peppers, you're fine.
yeah, there we go. So we have we have a ton of stuff tonight. Let's go into upkeep here, or yeah, upkeep. We are going to talk tonight. First thing we're going to talk about, we there's been a lot of news this week about the secret lairs, so we're going to obviously go through that. Talk about
how does the professor do it? New secret lair alert.
Yeah, basically. So we're going to talk about the new secret lairs coming out, what we think. Then we're going to talk a little bit about. We want to take more of a bird's eye view now that Strixhaven is completely out. We want to talk a little bit about it and see what we think, because everybody's kind of there's really extreme opinions right now on Strixhaven. You either really really like it or you really really hate it, or you just think it's weak. I should say. I don't think anybody hates it, but people are like, "Oh, this is just too weak," blah blah blah, and I'm like, "Well, yeah, given Throne, but but we are seeing some cards in the meta." And, maybe talk a little bit about Mystical Archives. Our combat tonight is, should the Mystical Archives have even been included in Arena? And then going into main 2, State of Standard, we'll go through the decks, and then we're going to finish up tonight talking about the tournament. We've had some movement even today since I did this, so, we'll have to kind of play it by ear, but, I mean, I've got a breakdown going right now, so that's kind of our show tonight. Let's get right into the main phase.
Main phase.
All right, main phase. So, last week there was a big secret lair announcement. Rather large, actually. I was kind of surprised that they're coming. They've been kind of quiet since like February. Actually, I don't think there was anything offered in March.
The last one that they had done before this was the Black is Magic.
Right, and they had that running almost throughout the entire month of March. But
yes.
So, I mean, I was pretty, I was like, okay, I kind of forgot secret lairs kind of existed, even though I'm waiting on my Black is Magic. But they came out with a big announcement, and basically they came out with 2 super drops, they're calling them, which are basically dealing with, well, the first one that they're doing, which I'm kind of cool with, is the concert, like a Friday night concert.
Our show is on Friday. Can you make it?
Yeah. So it's basically like redoing cards in, cheesy concert promotion type font type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Like when Secret Lair does stuff like that, you've got me. Like I may get that. Just because I think those are damn cool, especially if I play a lot of best of one these days, or singleton playing Commander and stuff, and some of these cards are actually useful in Commander. Mm-hmm. So, basically though, it's 5 cards, and it's basically they're all hand drawn. They're made to look like concert posters that you might see back in the day. I don't know if they do this now. I don't know what the kids are doing nowadays, but in my day, we used to staple concert posters to telephone poles on campus.
And you had to walk uphill in the snow 5 miles both ways. We get it, Grandpa.
All right, yeah, the beard's getting a little white. This baby's getting colored by next week. So what they've got is a 1-hand drawn Decree of Pain, sorry. 1-hand drawn Gamble, Nature's Lore, Preordained, and Wrath of God. I love the Preordained card. That card just looks, and you should find these on Google if you can, guys. These are great cards. They're very cool looking. It's interesting. It's gonna make playing them kind of fun because people are gonna be like, there's gonna be a lot of touching your cards on that one because they're gonna be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But I like it, and it's all 5 for $29.99. I don't see if there's a foil option. It looks like there's a non-foil. So, those are pretty cool. I'm kind of digging it. And the other big thing they did was it's almost like the Strixhaven Mystical Archive rejects, but hey, we commissioned the art anyway, so we'll put it in a secret lair.
I mean, these aren't necessarily reject cards either. I mean,
No, it's just like, it's coming with so basically what they did was they took 6 more cards and gave it kind of the Mystical Archive look. So it's All Is Dust, Artifact Mutation, Drown in the Loke, Fire Covenant, Fractured Identity, and Fracturing Dust. Those are all good cards.
and a couple of them, Fractured Identity and Fire Covenant. I know Fire Covenant for sure. This is the first reprint because it's originally an Ice Age card.
Right.
And I think Fractured Identity, I think is only like a Conspiracy or some other random set, like supplemental set card. And it's in Vintage Cube. This is one of the best cards you can get.
I mean, the art for the Drown in the Loke is amazing. Yeah, Fire Covenant. I think I had that card. Like,
yeah, I remember this.
I was playing Ice Age, man. I had Ice Age.
Yeah, it had the just like the dragon's head coming in from the one side.
Yeah, I had that card. So those are two that, you know what? That's what I love about secret lairs. Absolutely. Now, am I going to buy them? Probably the concert one. I'm not sure about the showcase Strixhaven. But I might the concert one.
Well, there's a whole lot other secret lairs you can choose from.
Oh yes, well we're going to go into that, and then notice I'm being positive right now. This was my thinking. I'm being positive here, because I'm about to go not Magic Historian level of negative, but it ain't going to be a good talk. Then they came out with a few other ones. Now I love the idea of some of these. They were mostly around lands. And basically you have basically all of the shocks. They're reprinting the shock lands with new artwork in Secret Lair, and they're doing it by triple color. So Bant, Esper, Grixis, Jund, and Naya.
Yeah.
Now, they are charging. The problem I have with these is they just went out of rotation last September. The Shocklands did.
Yeah.
And the artwork on these is not something crazy nuts, but kind of just brand new, different artwork.
Well, okay. Well, you go ahead and finish.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a mini combat.
Yeah,
here, so.
I think we are. And then on the other side of that, they're charging $29 for those 3. So you're not getting a full playset. You're getting one of each color, or one of each color pair, I should say. Or you can get the bundle, which has not, I think it comes with one of all 5. Oh, it comes with each one. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So you're getting the bundle seems to be the better one because obviously, Hallowed Fountain is going to be in 2 of them. Actually, yeah. All right, the bundle's the way to go. You shouldn't buy the $29.99 ones.
Actually, yes, you should.
Why?
Because the cheapest breeding pool is $23.
Right. But
so any one of the ones you get with just the breeding pool, you're already getting your money's worth. Godless Shrine, the cheapest one is $10. So you're still at the very minimum breaking even.
And I know that these are important. These are
necessary.
These should be reprinted in Commander. I'm sorry.
These should be in every core set, honestly.
I know. They should be,
but
they should always be standard.
But here's the thing. The thing. The reason why the artwork is important, the Shocklands have only ever appeared in Ravnica sets.
Right.
So all the times they've appeared, they've all been adjacent to Ravnica locations, Ravnica lore, Ravnica.
Right. And I understand that.
So what they're doing with these is the Godless Shrine is set on Amonkhet. The Watery Grave is set on Ixalan. all of these different shocklands are now all set with art and flavor text and around different planes.
Right.
So
And I get that.
What it does is that it gives people more of a option to customize their deck in that perspective for more like the Vorthos crowd. And they're all of these bundles are a bargain. Like the only complaint I guess I would have is that you're only getting one copy of each. I would
Yes.
pay more to get play sets of each.
Right. And that's just, I kind of feel
But you
like
are allowed to order up
4.
to 10.
Yeah. But the point I'm making is that I think I just
Money-wise, it's worth it.
Well, it is worth it. It is. I'm not saying that. But again, Shocklands are one of those things you go to an LGS to get.
Yeah.
All right, when they're not in a standard set, when we're not doing Ravnica shit.
Mhm.
Okay, you're going to the LGS to get these. The fact that they're coming in and now they're undercutting the market. You're right, because the breeding pool and all that. But and then it's not that great a value. Like, to me, okay, you get the Super Shock bundle. Now I think you're getting 2 of everything. So
it's still a good value in the sense of, for one, don't forget, obviously these are completely optional. If this doesn't
Right.
interest you, don't get it.
right, I get that.
It's as simple as that. It's
by
no
the way,
no
I just
skin
took
off
a
the
look. It's 2 of everything. So
it's no skin off of a Wizard's backs if you don't buy these.
right,
You still have the option of going to your local game store, going to Card Kingdom. Shocklands are fairly easy to get a hold of.
right, and they're
There's
necessary.
enough of them. There's enough of them floating around where it's not like the fetch lands where you're like, oh shit, I got to pay $80 for a Scalding Tarn, or wait and pray that you open a bunch of them with Modern Horizons 2.
Right.
With
And-
this one, even with the worst Shockland, paying $30 to get alternate art and 3 Shocklands, that's a pretty good bargain. And yeah, obviously, the LGS gets cut out in that respect of it. But if you don't want that artwork, you can still go to an LGS and still get them. They're readily available because they've been printed 3 times.
Well, and Johnny's saying he's buying the Jun set. He's like, I've been playing Jun forever. So
So there
I
you
guess
go.
I understand that in some regards. I know I'm a different type of collector. I get that. Okay. That I don't care what the art says. I really don't. I'm like, I care what the card does when I'm playing it. I care, a little bit about how much they're worth, but I'm never probably selling my cards again. So,
I am glad that they're putting them out because it puts more Shocklands out there.
true. And
And
that
you
part is
can't-
good. Maybe it will, maybe it'll bring the market down a little bit.
You can't, well, because they're different art, it might not,
Yeah.
but you can't have too many Shocklands floating around.
No.
If they had done this with the fetch lands,
Oh, hell yeah. I'd be
can
all
you
over it.
imagine? I mean, this is like,
Okay, maybe
am
that is a
personally-
reason to buy it. You might be
I
right
am-
on that.
yeah, I am personally not going to be getting these because I have play sets of all the Shocklands already.
Right.
I'm going to need a couple extra Shocklands here and there for like commander decks and stuff. It's almost at that point where maybe I get 1 or 2, but I'm not sure which ones I need yet, so I don't want to just get one just to get one.
I would probably, here's the thing. If you were going to get 2, if you're going to spend $60, spend 60 more and get 2 of each. And then
Yeah.
you've got 2 of everything.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I'm now tempted to do it because I want to send Wizards the message that, you know what, if you sell fetch lands like this, they will sell. That you will make money if you do this with the fetch lands.
And that's the thing, is it's the most obvious thing in the world, because what is the one thing that people have been screaming about for reprints for the last years? Fetch lands. Yes, they're finally doing it.
Yes. I wish they were putting them in the Commander precons. It boggles my, I know the professor.
If they were at least putting the Shocklands in
Yeah.
there, or even the check lands.
I am so tired of the life lands in Commander decks. Like, we're giving you a great mana base. No,
the guild
you're
gates.
not. No.
They put the guild gates in there. Take the freaking guild gates out. Put the Shocklands in.
There is no reason not to put the Shocklands into there. But then, so, okay, I can get around that. Okay, I can get around how that's rolling. But then Wizards decided, and I love the idea. But then Wizards decided to get cheeky. And so they decided to offer a Voracious Reader bundle. Oh, wow, that's way too expensive. Hold on. No, they decided to offer the full text lands.
Yeah.
And what the full text lands is, there's no artwork on these things.
Nope.
The artwork is basically
a wall of text.
A wall of text. It's literally what Wizards has been wanting to do for a long time now. It says, like for Planes, it says, this card's name is Planes. Basic is its super type. Land is its card type. And Planes is its subtype. A deck may contain any number of basic... And I mean, it goes on. There's no artwork. And there's nothing but text. Okay. Awesome. Awesome concept. Really is. I would have preferred these to the freaking Urza lands. Okay, or whatever they were, like the Pokemon lands. Could you imagine if they threw these in a standard set?
I personally love these.
I do too.
I love these because
I don't like the price. I don't like the price for one of each. I feel like these are still, at the end of the day, basic lands.
They are, but this is where secret lairs are perfectly expressed. This is a premium product. This is a collectible item. This is not necessary to play the game because basic lands are essentially free. So this is something where you say, if you want something really kind of super special, kind of off the wall for your lands, here you go.
You know what? If they had done it for $9.99 for all 5, $9.99, then for then everybody's getting 3 of every type, you'd sell more bundles. You would sell more. You would sell more of these secret lairs. People would buy 2 or 3 at $9.99.
They may not be expecting too many of these to sell because these are kind of a novelty.
Yeah, I would love them. I mean, they would be great in Commander. And believe me, I take a look at the Voracious Reader bundle, which they put a bundle together which has 10 of every type for $240. I'm like, so let me get this straight. For the price of a collector booster of a standard set or a booster box of like a masterpiece, are you insane?
What I do like about these is that if you think about it, this should probably be on every basic land card to begin with, because
I think so too.
Because if you if you go to a new player and say, here's this is a Plains, you tap it for white. Well, how do you tap it? Well, you go like this. So, well, what's mana? Well, this is what you use to cast your spells. Well, what happens if I don't use it? Well, nothing if you don't tap it. What's tapping again?
Yeah.
And this spells out step by freaking step, like insulting your intelligence.
Yeah.
But not saying, listen, I know you don't get this because Magic, believe it or not, is a hard game.
Yep.
Because if you think about it, we as enfranchised players of the game, we see a basic land, we see the white mana symbol, Plains, taps for white. Okay, no big deal, whatever. But then you actually take a step back and you really dive into what does this card actually do?
Right.
This actually spells it out. And then you're like, oh my God, I shortcut all that stuff in my brain every time I turn this thing sideways.
like them all. Don't get me wrong. I like them.
Great.
I think the price point is the problem.
Price point's high. Price point is too high.
It's too high.
Like, but again, this is but you don't need this.
No, none of these are necessary. But yeah,
none of them are.
But yet, it's kind of like you want them. I mean, it's just kind of
like
it's kind of shitty.
The concert poster one is here, bling out your deck. This is really cool.
I get, and I may spend the money on that one.
That's what I'm saying. Like the concert one, bling out your deck. This is really cool. The Shockland ones, these are useful bundles, value priced.
Maybe a way for people who weren't playing at Ravnica, Allegiance and all
to
that.
To get their hands on them. And then it's like, hey, and if you're not into Ravnica, like Johnny says, hey, I'm playing Jund and I don't want Ravnica shocks. I now have the option to get non-Ravnica Shocklands. Great. This one is a nice little off-the-wall thing for like your collector.
And now, breaking news. Hi, Pam.
Hi, babe. It's all right.
I still got to work on a bumper for her. I'm getting a bumper for her. Go on.
Yeah. So these ones, it's sort of like I said, it's a novelty. And I think it's because that normal basic lands are worthless.
Yeah.
But I kind of can't hate these too much. I mean, yes, they're too expensive, but I'm not like foaming at the mouth. I want to go burn something down mad. It's like for some reason, it just kind of tickles.
I think they should have put these like in the D&D set, because oh my god, do you have to read a lot in D&D. Like having these be the D&D lands would have been classically awesome. How much would they have saved on artwork alone? Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe not in booster packs, but like maybe in like in the collector booster. Like you
yeah.
get one in every collector booster. Maybe they still
And
can.
I
Nothing
think
says they
that's
don't
going
have.
to happen. I know they say, well, we make them to order. Well, eventually, someday they're going to be like, well, we're going to start sprinkling in secret layers inside packs of collector boosters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, and like the other Strixhaven Mystical Archive like addendum. That's just kind of cool. It's nice.
It is
and I'm
kind of
hoping,
cool. And I get it. And I'm
I
on
hope
board. I'm not going to buy it, but
no, like most of these are like the only ones I'm even remotely interested in are the Shockland ones. That's the only one I'm sort of like, I don't want it, but I might get one. Probably not. But it's like most of the secret layers are kind of like that. Like for me, if it's not like supporting a charity, I'm not like super on board. These ones are close, and I can see myself maybe getting the Shocklands.
right, because you and I both ordered the Black is Beautiful.
Yes, and that should be coming, I think, next month at some point. But whatever, that's fine. It's coming.
Yeah.
I know it's coming. These like the basic land ones they're cool. I like the idea. I think it's hilarious. I'm glad that because I think players have been suggesting something like this as a gag for a while, like make these the next unglued lands. But yeah, it's just if they were a little cheaper, yeah, sure, I'd probably be more on board. But like I said, I'm not too torn up about it because it's sort of like, oh, this is cool. It's definitely not for me.
Right.
It's not something that I want to get. I've got plenty of lands floating around anyway. And honestly, even if I did get these, I don't even know that I'd play them.
Right. Well, let's move from that. So that's the secret layers. We got kind of that info. Let's talk a little bit about Strixhaven because, again, Strixhaven's been out now for it fully released last Friday, but it's been out now for about 10 days because of arena and things like that. So there's a lot of talk around the community about Strixhaven, and a lot of people are kind of kicking it a little bit, and it's a little underpowered. It's not that good. You know, the best thing about it's the Mystical Archives, which is why it's even there. Otherwise, they wouldn't sell any packs, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. What do you think, Aramis? Like, what do you think of Strixhaven?
Compared to Eldraine, yes. It's underpowered.
yeah.
I mean, that's that. I'm going to get the most obvious statement of the year out of the way. Compared to Eldraine, it's way underpowered.
Right.
But it's extremely interesting. It's extremely well executed. The mechanics are fun.
Yes.
The set is very good. The funny thing is, it's probably like a 7 on the power scale, but we're so used to 9s that it's like, oh my god, this is terrible. It's not bad. I think there are. It's hard to get concrete information now because it just became legal 3 days ago. But there are cards from the set making their way into standard. There are archetypes starting to form around some of the things in Strixhaven. There's a Prismari mid-range deck floating around that takes advantage of Galazeth Prismari.
Right.
And you know, it's a bunch of dragons. It's that, the Goldspan dragon. So it's a bunch of dragons pooping out treasures, and it's disgusting. Sultai Ramp has started to use Quandrix Cultivator and some of the other cards from Strixhaven. So it's starting to make an impact. There are cards sprinkling in. PVDDR's championship card has made its way into a Winota build, along with
the fact that there is a Winota build.
Yeah. By the way, Winota's back,
which is something all of us wanted.
The 2/1 that learns when it enters the battlefield, the 2/1 for 2.
Yeah.
That's it being played in that deck as well. I mean, there are good cards in this deck. Is it as strong as Eldraine? No, thank God. Because we all know what happened from Eldraine to Theros to Ikoria. Some of the worst standard we've seen in years. Oh my God, how many bans? A dozen?
Yep.
13, 14 cards? And so, this is fine. I'm happy with this. It doesn't have to be completely turning the meta on its ear every time a set rotates in. You want some shakeup. You want some new things to emerge, but you don't want the whole meta to get blown up.
Well, that's just it. This is what we've been asking for. They are executing something that we talked about a year ago when we said, how the hell do you power down? How do you do it? You can't do it. You won't be able to power down. You'll have to do it slowly over like a year. And they've been doing it slowly over like a year. All right. I think they realized shortly after Eldraine dropped that they were like, holy crap. And again, Eldraine was so large that it overpowered Ikoria, it overpowered Theros, and it overpowered the core set. Those are 3 sets that I feel so, if they were like people, I would buy them a drink because I feel bad for them because they got completely overshadowed by
Zendikar and Kaldheim too.
Yeah. And well, Zendikar and Kaldheim are going to have a chance to shine once rotation happens. That's the thing. And I stand by what I've said in that other than the rogue deck, okay, the rogue deck being the exception, I have a feeling that the meta 5 months from now is going to be built around base cards in Strixhaven that you are going to build around. I think there will be a party deck. Okay, I think party gets to come out of the woodwork once Eldraine is gone. Especially because you got to figure some of the Dungeons and Dragons set is gonna help that party set. But for the most part, you're gonna build off of the cards in this set. So I can't say that this is it is 100. I can't argue with somebody who says it's lower powered. It is lower powered. It is also what we asked for and what Magic needs, because the problem is Eldraine being overpowered like it was churning into Yu-Gi-Oh. You know, it was like churn 2 and churn 3, and it's turning into modern and CEDH Commander.
It was you were right. No, it was turning into Yu-Gi-Oh, where it's like, we're going to print this ridiculous card and then just ban it.
Yeah. And I don't want that. Like, I think bans are wrong. I understand that. I have a white beard, folks. I'm old school. All right. Like, I get it. But I don't agree with, push the power level. If it doesn't work, ban it. No, fucking test it. and then don't put it out or tweak it while it's there, because bannings, they serve no purpose other than sell packs, in that you're going to sell monstrous amounts of Theros to get Euro, and the minute you can stop selling Theros, you ban Euro. There's no way that doesn't look like egg on your face. They couldn't do it with Omnath. Like, Omnath was too powerful. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm slightly more on the camp of I like when they push the envelope, because I don't want things to get too stale.
Right.
I'm okay with them going a little too far and having to correct. What happened over the last year, starting with Eldraine, was, if the scale went from 1 to 10 and pushing it a little too far, it's like 11, maybe 12. They were somewhere like, 17, 19, somewhere in that range. It was disgusting. Like, I'm okay with them going a little bit too far and saying, oh, crap, that's a little bit too much. Let's just push that back a little bit.
I would have been okay if Oko was their only ban. But
if that was the only problem,
to get banned, Agent was not in that set, but when you had to ban
Field of the Dead,
well,
that was Agent of Treachery,
that was also core.
Oko, Once Upon a Time,
Once Upon a Time,
Fires of Invention.
Yeah.
There's so many cards that you're like, oh, wait, that's right, that's banned too. Cauldron Familiar. Oh, yeah, that's right, that's banned too.
Right. It was, Cauldron Familiar, Escape to the Wilds, Fires of Invention, Lucky Clover, and Oko. Like, out of the 10, 6 of them are Eldraine.
I think we're still missing some too.
No, Once Upon a Time, yeah. So Once Upon a Time, so 7. Cauldron Familiar, Escape to the Wilds, Fires of Invention, Lucky Clover, Oko Thief of Crowns, and Once Upon a Time. Uro and Omnath were from different sets.
And then there was the companion nerf.
Yeah, and then they had to nerf companion. But
which it looks like is finally the people have adjusted to them being played the way that they are now, because
shitty way to play it.
It is, but here's the thing. They're still good enough to be played.
Yeah.
Which shows you exactly how unbelievably broken they were.
Oh yeah.
You can change them from being able to just cast them from the command zone to have to spend 3 mana and then cast them.
Seriously, Garuda would be back on top.
Oh my god. Luris
is
still seeing play.
Still on top.
That's the thing. Like, if you really step back and think about this, how absurd are companions. How crazy is that? Like, we're gonna nerf these so hard.
So I'm
They're still
excited
good.
I got to be honest with you. I hear this on MTG Goldfish's podcast, and if you don't listen to them, guys, you should. But the what they talk about is every once in a while they're like, rotation doesn't happen soon enough. Like, they almost want to make it. I think what they want to do is be like, no. Every set has a year, so with each new set, something rotates out. I'm like, ooh.
Think about this.
That's
Think
an
about
interesting concept.
I'm just looking at this. Star City Games. This is sort of where I'm doing some of my homework for stuff that's being played. Star City Games had a 5K championship qualifier.
Right.
That had 248 players. There were 4 different companions seeing heavy play.
Yorion, Loris,
Gigantha, and Obosh.
Yeah, and Obosh. Obosh is
Gigantha and Obosh.
Yeah.
Think about this. Gigantha's like really weird.
Yeah.
Obosh is very restrictive in the deck building. After the nerf, they're still good enough to go 9-2 in an 11-round tournament.
Oh yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Demir Rogues won.
Yeah, they were 13-0.
Yeah. Jesus. That's just so fucked up wrong.
But it's just it's like, it boggles my mind to think about this, is that they knocked these things down quite a bit. I mean, this was a serious downgrade in power.
Yeah.
Huge nerf. They're still really good in standard, which just, to me, just it's like, holy crap, if they hadn't done anything, all 10 of these cards would have been banned.
Oh yeah. So
in every format.
So, in answer to the question, though, I do think Strixhaven. I think Strixhaven is going to be fine. I think once Eldraine rotates out, and again, every once in a while you hear people talking about, hey, what if they do what they did last year and they do like an early rotation and take out the biggest guns. Listen, they could do that and just say we're rotating Eldraine early. No more Eldraine.
They're not doing that.
They're not going to do it. But if they were going to do it, of course they'd do it surgically again. They're going to nail, they're going to nail the Embercleave. They'll nail the Giants, the 2 Giants, the Beast that's played, and probably the 1-drop adventure guy there. So
he's probably the one card left that really probably should go. Like Embercleave.
Embercleave,
he's
restrictive. Edgewall Innkeeper is the one that's
Edgewall Innkeeper is a problem. Embercleave, it's kind of an issue. I mean, Bonecrusher Giant is just really good removal.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it,
you'll play Shock or Frostbite again. So
you'll play Shock. You'll play Shock or Frostbite again. But the biggest reason is because 1 is the damage can't be prevented, and 2 is there's a 4/3 body attached to it.
Right.
It's basically, if you really think about it, Bonecrusher Giant is the return of Flametongue Kavu.
Right.
And remember how warping that was. I mean, nowadays Flametongue Kavu is not even that good.
No.
But back in the day, Flametongue Kavu is like, if your creature can't survive 4 damage, you're not playing it.
And you're not wrong, Johnny. He's saying rotating with each set would make Paper Magic even more of a money sink than it is now. Agree. And it would make Arena not worth it at all. Also agree. It also means that Wizards will probably do it. It's already too expensive to get the cards you need in Arena quickly to play the decks you want. Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
We're gonna be touching on that a little bit.
Yeah, we are, especially with the set, because I want to talk about the Mystical Archives. Like, do you feel that they're good or bad? And you know what? Let's just take this right into combat, because it's really where I was going. That was going to be our pivot, but we're at 42 minutes.
Johnny the Man being the one saying, "Hey, get in there."
So our combat tonight is: should Mystical Archives have been included in Arena the way that they are? Now, again, obviously, if they'd given you an extra card, absolutely. But what I mean by that is this. If you go and open a booster pack in Arena, you still get a rare. You absolutely get a rare. That's from Strixhaven. But you then also get 1 Mystical Archive card of any level. So you can end up with 2 rares, or a mythic and a rare, or 2 mythics in a pack, 1 being a Mystical Archive.
Right.
So on paper, that sounds great. However, what people are starting to realize, and what I actually realized early on, is they're also taking a slot away from Strixhaven inside of a booster, inside of an already limited Arena booster pack. Instead of getting 15 cards, you open an Arena booster pack, it's only 8. Right? Is it 8 or 7?
It's 8.
8. Right. So it's already only 8 cards. So yeah.
I think they take a common.
Right. It doesn't matter though. Like you're
Yeah.
still
Here's my
yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Well,
You go ahead with your
this.
point.
I think what they should have done is if you're going to put something like Mystical Archives in, for the people that really just want to collect Strixhaven and have all the cards and they don't want to spend wild cards if they can help it. And granted, we all have a million common wild cards right now. Honestly, they should just give us all the commons. Here's all the commons. And we're going to give you other commons, and it's not going to up your vault in the common part. Okay. But taking a card away from the collection means that technically it can cost players more money to get a complete set.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. So I don't. And then 9 times, and none of these cards can be played in standard. They don't have.
Some of them can.
Yeah, some of them can, but they don't have historic. They're all legal in historic unless you want to play Lightning Bolt. But I promise you, Divine Gambit is 100% legal, and it's the best card you can get. You should play it in every set you have.
So there's actually a few cards in the Mystical Archive that are banned in historic.
Right. Which
Lightning
is
Bolt,
bullshit.
Dark Ritual, Torch to Plowshares, Counterspell. There's a few more. The really crazy ones are. I mean, some of them that's subjective, but the ones that they deemed really crazy are not allowed in historic. So the only way you could actually even play them is in a friendly direct challenge, which I think there's no queue for that, so that kind of sucks. The Mystical Archives, I believe, take the place of a common. They only show up as uncommons, rares, or mythics.
Right.
They've upshifted some of the cards to rare or mythic, like Faithless Looting and Brainstorm.
Should not be.
They shouldn't
rare.
be rare. They shouldn't even be uncommon. They're commons because the way that they're done, because actually Pleasant Kenobi just talked about this today, the way that they're done, if you want these cards, you have to spend the equivalent rarity wild card to get them if you don't want to open them in packs. So if you want Brainstorm, if you want Faithless Looting, you need to spend 8 rare wild cards to get them. And because they're so good, they're auto includes in historic, which means you need them to play historic. So I like the idea of the Mystical Archive.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that they're injecting these cards into the format. I like the idea that all the uncommon ones are legal in standard.
Right.
So if you already have copies of them, great. I mean, obviously that means you need to collect 4 more copies if you want complete sets of the archive frame, which I think if you already have the cards in your collection, you should automatically just get these.
Yeah, I agree.
You should just get them because it's functionally identical to what you already have. It's just basically it's a cosmetic treatment at this point.
Right.
It absolutely makes collecting this set more expensive. I think Sapphire and Olive has spent $350.
He said 500 on Monday.
Now 500, and he still doesn't have the complete set.
Yeah, he said I've spent $500 on Strixhaven, and I don't have everything yet.
I feel like if they were going to do this in a standard legal set, they should have curated this list in a way to ensure that all of these cards, first of all, are going to be legal in historic and or standard. Or if they were going to open up a new casual play queue where you don't have to worry about banned lists, okay, that's fine, because then you can, it's literal kitchen table magic. And there's nothing wrong with that. That should probably exist in the game somewhere. Right. Why not? Unranked.
Obviously,
have at it. Some of these cards that were upshifted, if they're doing this, should not have been upshifted in Arena.
They should not have been.
They should still show up in their respective rarity. Like there's no real reason
or put the originals in a. Oh, that's what they're gonna do.
Oh, you have an idea.
The Historic Anthology 5 will be all of the Mystical Archive cards that you can play in their appropriate rarity, and you can spend $20 to get them all.
Nah, they wouldn't do that. That's because when they do the Historic Anthology, that's when they want to add new cards in.
Right, true.
So,
but
This is if it's full reprints, they're not going to do. They won't do that because that's just
then
card styles.
They should just be selling them. They should all right. I should have the option to get a Faithless Looting at common with the regular art because
or
functionally it's the same damn card. Or
or
demonic
or like even spend like 100 gold.
Yeah.
To get one copy of like it's like 100 gold for the uncommon, 500 gold for the rare, 1,000 gold for the mythic.
Right.
It's easier to get the gold. It's easier to get that to then spend it to get those cards instead of having to rip packs open to get wild cards to then spend on mystical archive cards, which you already have copies of another.
Unless you want to play. Well, their answer would be, well, then play.
This is, this obviously shows the predatory nature of
Wizards.
Of Wizards, in regards to how they spend, Arena's economy, and that part of it's really, really sucks. I mean, I already know that it was a huge money hole, and I was sort of like, okay, I don't want to really think about how much money I'm spending on Arena.
Exactly.
But if only they were dusting.
Yeah, dusting or trading.
Or trading. If only, because the whole point of these was collectability.
Right.
These aren't collectibles because there's no intrinsic value in these. You're not getting any of this back when you leave.
Right.
It just sits on a server somewhere, and if they decide to flip off the lights, well, sorry. Thanks for your money. Thanks for the donation.
It's Duel of the Planeswalker all over again.
But like like what Pleasant Kenobi said, in paper, these are fantastic.
Oh yeah.
These are great. I haven't had this much fun opening booster packs.
I love it. I've got them all separated, and
I hope they do this again. I hope they do this with like every set. I don't care if it makes it not as special. This gets reprints into the hands of people who need it.
Exactly.
This makes it easier to build decks for other formats that you wouldn't normally have access to. Like, those 2 demonic tutors, the mystical archive versions are like $35 now.
Yeah.
Whereas before, if I wanted demonic tutors, the most recent printing was like a $60 card.
Exactly.
So I'm saving a ton of money
to Fairy's Protection, dude.
To Fairy's Protection, Mind's Desire, maybe not Mind's Desire, but there's a bunch of cards on here that are going to have a big drop in price because these are flooding the market, which is fantastic unless you're, MTG Finance, in which case, fuck you.
Yeah, MTG
Gaia's Cradle shouldn't be $1,000. Sorry for the explicit tags. Gaia's Cradle should not be $1,000.
Why are you sorry? We get it every week. Are you kidding me? You're not wrong there. It annoys me with MTG Finance. Like they actually came out with we think this is a horrible idea, and it's literally like whatevs.
I will gladly testify for whoever brings up the lawsuit to kill the reserve list.
Oh, I agree.
I will happily go to court and be like, hey, this is why this is a good idea to get rid of this. I understand Wizards, you're going to lose some money. Long-term health of the game, this is good because guess what? People want to play these old Eternal formats without proxying if they can avoid it. They don't want to have to put a mortgage on their house to get a play set of duels.
No.
I mean, yeah, okay, are they necessary to play? No, but they're just game pieces. I mean, it's not
like... Are they necessary for CEDH? Yes.
Kind of. I mean, not 100% necessary. You can have a good CEDH deck without them, but if you don't have those, you better have the fetch lands.
Yeah.
And so it's not like you have to go, like, you're going to go play poker, but, in order to play poker, you have to have the deck with certain, designs for the suits, and they only did those a couple times, and they didn't think it'd be really good to reprint those. So you have to go find the Queen of Hearts that has an etched foiling, but there's only 1,000 of those, and you have to have it to play, but it's $10,000. I mean, come on.
Oh, well, but the buy-in is only $5 to play the poker game.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I think we're both in kind of agreement that Mystical Archives should have been included, but in a different way. Let's get to main 2 because we're running low on time. Thought this was going to be a dead show, and sure enough,
never is.
All right, so State of Standard. There has been movement. And we tend to look at MTG Goldfish, guys, so just so you know. But, I mean, I'm looking here, and Mono Red has been dethroned due to Sultai Control coming back in.
Yorion basically so skewed, though.
I know. Yorion Ultimatum, basically. What they got is really the Quandrix Cultivator. Like, that apparently is what threw it over the top. which I
Kinda like
don't
Risen Reef.
understand. Oh, and they threw Professor Onyx in there.
Yeah.
Pretty much that's it. I think solve the equation. Nothing else really from Strixhaven. It's just a matter of, I think you're just seeing a lot of people play it again because
It's
people
the ebb and
like it.
flow.
Yeah.
It's the ebb and flow, because when Rogues is good, this deck comes up. When this deck comes good, something that beats this comes up.
Like mono red. Like mono red has a good shot against this deck usually because it's like, okay, yeah, you need to get to turn 6. I need to kill you before then.
This is pure rock paper scissors in
Yeah.
action. The
Yep.
A deck beats B deck beats C deck, which beats A deck, and it's just as long as one of them is on top, it's going to keep rotating through until it balances out.
Right. So, the major change is though in the top 5 is Winota is coming out. We mentioned that earlier. Thanks to the Professor's Symbiology, really, and the Elite Spellbinder, as well as the Blade Historian.
Hello.
Yeah, but the Blade Historian's kind of here's the thing. That's in my mono red deck right now. And I use that and I put one of the Ember Cleaves in the sideboard. Because I'm like, shit, it's a creature. It dies to almost everything because it's 2/3. But hell yeah, if I can get a turn where I'm swinging double and I got Torburn out, sure, all day. I also did throw, in my mono red deck, I threw in the artifact creature in the sideboard that lets me copy their instant spells. I found that's actually been very helpful, especially with, say, Emergent Ultimatum, to make sure that they don't try to trigger that thing before they have 8 lands. Because I'm like, sure, go ahead. Yeah, you do that. I'm going to do that too. And you can choose 2 Ember Cleaves or Torburn. Which one would you prefer?
I like the fact that Winota has made a return, because I remember when
it's a piss me off card. Don't get me wrong. I hate that fucking card.
The first go around when Winota first appeared after Accordia came out, we're like, oh my god, this is insane. This is nuts. And then it disappeared.
Well, because what happened is that it was mono red and it was sitting pretty good until Rogues and Adventures. Adventures just came back and Adventures was able to beat it. So people kind of adopted it, as well as I think Izzet was kind of hanging around. Prismari Midrange is another one. That's kind of like the Izzet deck that was part of Zendikar, Kaldheim. But, they threw a few more of the Prismari cards in, and that might be fun. I might put that together. But for the most part, Standard is still, top 3 is pretty much Sultai Control, Mono Red Aggro, and Teamer. So, hey, fun times. But let's get to the main thing. All right. So the tournament is going on. Tournament's going well. The one thing I'll say about this whole tournament software we're using is that they're not waiting for us to get results from all of the round, and they actually can keep playing, keep going, and things are moving along pretty good. We're down to our last 9. Because let's see, who was it? It was Dr. Dreidel and McFallon played each other earlier today. And so basically McFallon won. So he's going to be playing Eldrazi Kraken's Teamer. I think he's playing a Teamer Ultimatum deck. No, he's playing the Emergent Ultimatum. So that's fun. So what we've got right now is we have 4 rogue decks that are out there. 1 mono red. What the heck was Oh wait, did we lose one with Dreidel? Let me check Draidel's deck list. Oh shit, I already removed it. So, yeah, I think it was mono red. Dreidel was a mono red. He lost to rogues. So we have 4 rogues. Our last mono red is out. We have an Obosh, 2 Emergent Ultimatums, 1 Teamer Ultimatum, and 1 Nico Control. But the field is really made up of 4 rogues and then 3 Ultimatum decks and a couple of outliers.
The Nico deck is still going, huh?
The Nico deck is still going. He's kicking ass with it, actually.
Yeah.
Apple Freak got to the Elite 8 last week, on Wednesday. He's been just hanging around waiting for people to get to him. So we're down to, I think now we're finally, we're in now the, I think we're in the Elite Eight right now.
Quarterfinals?
Yeah. We're just waiting. We're in round 3, except for we need the winner of Dimitri and JVA. Dimitri and JVA are playing, hold on, where is it? Dimitri is playing Rogue. JVA is playing the Teamer Ultimatum.
Okay.
Or, yeah, no, Jeskai. Sorry. Is he playing Jeskai? No, he's a Teamer Ultimatum. What the hell? I might have that wrong. Let me see JVA's.
Dimitri's on Rogues.
Yeah.
JVA is Ultimatum.
Which one is it? Oh, Emergent. So he's playing the Emergent Ultimatum. I don't know.
So he's Sultai.
Yeah. So he, so again, cheapers. I don't know who to root for, but they've got Teamer Ultimatum waiting for them whenever they get their game in. I know they're trying to get it scheduled. I think one of them's been moving this week. So, but we've got some good stuff. Obosh versus Rogues. Pop-Tart is playing J-Grow. I've got to tell you, at this point, all right, the problem is this. With the 4 matches we've got that are live right now, Rogues is in every fucking one of them. Like, I do not want a Final Four Rogue deck. Like, dear God, guys, somebody beat these damn
at this
things.
point.
Well, we're guaranteed to have one. No, actually, no, because Ultimatum, Eldrazi's got an Ultimatum deck. If Obosh can beat J-Grow, if Double D can beat Desoons, and if JVA can beat Dimitri, then Rogue's out. Done. Gone. See you. But, I mean,
I think one should probably break through.
1 or 2 will squeak through. I just don't want it. I don't want Rogues in the final. Like, gosh, I mean, I swear next time we're going to make our own damn ban list.
Well, the next time we do this, I mean, Strixhaven will be in, so.
Yeah, I think the next time we do this, I might say, like, cards from Ikoria forward. like have the tournament be, what will it look like post-rotation?
That would be Zendikar forward then.
No, I know, but I mean, like, give Ikoria a chance to kind of have fun. And again, Ikoria has things that can beat the Rogues. So, I mean, because I'd hate to remove the ultimatums, because then we're just going to have a tournament of Rogues.
Well, I mean, because it may not even be standard the next time we do it.
Yeah,
so.
It might not be. We're going to have a vote on that. But so we're going along pretty well. I suspect that, again, 3 out of the 4 for the Elite 8 are ready to play. I have no reason to believe that we won't have a champion by next week. Again, we give them 7 days to play. Dimitri and JVA have to play by Wednesday. I was like, that's your 7. So, but yeah, we're looking at I'm really enjoying this. I'm liking the way we do this. We're going to make some changes with the tournament software in that I think I have to, like, I don't want the brackets made right away, because the brackets kind of screwed us. So I have to write some notes down about that. But other than that, we're pretty good. But I mean, what do you think? Yeah, there's no way to tell a favorite right now. I just wish some of the Rogues could have knocked each other out. I mean, they did, but
I'm completely pulling for Azorius control at this point.
I know you are.
I mean, come on. It's the only control deck in the field. Come on, yeah, I have to. I'm a control player, so it's yes, please.
Apple Freak, you
awesome.
have a fan. Apple Freak's playing with us Wednesday, I think. So
if he can make it to the semis,
oh yeah,
I'll be pretty happy with that.
Yeah,
I'll be pretty happy if he can make it to the semis.
So yeah, like I said, Apple Freak is going to be playing with us on Wednesday, because he's got a pre-con all set. So. And in fact, I might try to fill a 4th seat, and maybe we'll do a couple weeks of pre-con. Maybe the second week we'll play with Anthony and Steve. And that actually brings up a good point too, Commander Craft. We're going to pivot with that before we end it. We're going to make a change. Aramis and I kind of talked offline, and we did a little bit of experimentation this year with Commander Craft, and we did more points and, keeping track of things and things like that. And while it was fun and it was interesting, it also started to make things less fun. And kind of, it really kind of warped things a little bit. So we're going to bag the points, I think is just what we're thinking, right? We're going to bag it. Like, just Throw it out with the bathwater.
Yeah,
We may
I think
revisit it some other time, but for this season, I think we'll still keep the winner keeps his deck, and 3 times you retire it.
yeah, basically like that aspect of it is I think fun because it gives you a villain,
Yes.
and it gives you someone to go after. But then it's still, hey, if they win 3 times, all right, well, we don't have to see that deck again for a while. Great.
Yeah.
But I think that this will overall give us better content because
Yeah, I agree.
it'll be because like when you watch like game nights
Right.
and extra turns and things like that, for the most part, the decks do their thing. I mean, every now and then somebody gets mana screwed, and
Right.
that's magic. Or they just they're just so far behind. There's just no way they can catch up, but they try to do their best.
Or a guy
But for
who
the
owns
mo-
a game store comes in with some freaking monster expensive and
If-
overpowered cards for the table.
if you got the card pool, but for the most part, like the decks do their thing,
Right.
and there's the interaction between the decks and the players, and sometimes the winner is kind of like you think it's going to be this person because they're so far ahead, but then right at the last minute, somebody comes in and takes them
With a
out.
1-turn win. Brandon. Hi, Brandon. How are you, Brandon?
So
Yeah, he came.
we're hoping to have better content in that regard, in that it takes the pressure off of the players to win,
Yeah.
and
Or
puts
to
it
knock
more into
somebody out for the points.
yeah, because if you're headhunting,
Yeah.
that's not going to be as fun because maybe that person wasn't doing anything anyway.
Right.
But either way, we're hoping that this promotes a more I don't know
Inclusive.
about balance, but more inclusive and more but just better content for everyone involved.
And I mean, we're gonna, we're getting more and more listeners playing. So this week we won't have to have the conversation, but we're gonna start like having serious conversations. Like, I might send you the I've got the play EDH, like how they rank their decks.
Mhm.
I might send you that because I think that that's a conversation we have to have with players before, because for the most part, Brandon had decks that were a 1-turn win con, and which is great and cool, but then we all should have came with 1-turn win cons, and you kind of do with Zakama. He
Yeah,
kind of has a 1-turn win con.
Yeah, Zakama has the capability of just winning the game on the
But you've
spot.
got me and Anthony sitting there. I was playing at one point.
Yeah.
I was playing the L's deck, and it's like that has no 1-turn win con. That has, I'm gonna just hang.
grind you over the course of a couple of
Right.
turns, makes a huge army and swings in.
So I mean, these are
Like-
conversations and these are things that you have to do with your play groups. The professor's right about that. Like the key to keeping a really functioning play group, which is what Commander Craft is having a conversation with each other and saying, okay, yes, my deck has 2 or 3 1-turn win cons. Oh, okay then.
Yeah, so
we're not ready for that, but we can
Yeah.
try to get a deck ready for, what I mean, and start to build for that over time. So I think that's gonna be conversations where Aramis and I are gonna have offline. We're gonna have that. We're gonna probably have to loop Steve and Anthony in on that, because Steve has a lot of, at the very least, because Steve has so much Commander knowledge that it'd be silly not to. But I mean, we might just make that even a Patreon call. If you guys play Commander and you want to be a part of that discussion, maybe it's a roundtable. And I was like, hey, if you're a Planeswalker patron or any level patron, you join this call and we sit there and talk about it and kind of figure out how to do that. Because, I don't know about you, Aramis, but my wife would love it if I got an extra night of not streaming. So, Commander Craft, I mean, we're taking time from our families and we're doing this because we love what we do and we love playing the game, but really we're also creating content. So we want it to be entertaining and not, just
and we want to make sure that
lame.
I'm hoping we get to the point where even if it's a core group of people playing
Right.
every week, that we're not seeing the same decks every week.
Right. Exactly.
There's a rotation in. That's one of the reasons why I'm building so many friggin' decks, is because I want to be able to bring something different to the table every week.
Right. And I mean, obviously for at least this week and maybe probably next, I can't, because there's 5 and Aramis and I both have 5. Like, I can't see a reason for us not to maybe have a couple weeks of precon, just to be like, hey, we're going to try these decks out and we're going against other precons.
And it's accessible to more of our listeners because
Right.
if they don't have other commander decks, they can run onto their LGS, grab some sleeves,
Or
grab a
Wall
free
World.
ton, and boom.
Yeah.
Or Wally World if you go to your LGS first.
Go to your LGS always.
And they should honestly at this point they should have more because I know that there was a low initial shipment, but the second wave should be like coming real fast.
I mean, and I've got 2. My 3 should be here tomorrow. So at the very least, I know I'm set. Aramis one's arriving tomorrow at least, so he'll have at least one.
It's up to the shipping gods.
Yeah, it's really up to the shipping because, to be honest, yes, we deal with our LGSs, and I bought 2 of mine from my LGS, and then I was like, okay, I can't do $40 if Amazon is doing $28. I'm like, I love you. I bought 2, yeah, but
yeah, I wanted to. I almost did. I wanted to get them from Kerwin's. I did. But I mean, in the end, I mean, it was a better bargain to get all 5 off of Amazon.
Right.
It really was. And they had a price guarantee, and I understand why they charged what Kerwin's charged what they did, and I have no problem with that. And if I had no other alternative, I absolutely would have.
And that's why I bought 2 there. That's why I was like, yeah. I'm gonna buy 2 from you guys, and so I bought yours. No. Our show has bought something from Kerwin's. I kept them. But
yeah. I mean, I bought like what 4 boxes.
Yeah, you
product from them. So
yeah,
it's all good.
My problem is I live so damn far away that it's hard for me because then shipping gets involved. If I had Steve say, "Hey, listen, if you buy from me, I'm always going to ship to you for free," now we have a conversation. Because for me, but I also like to spread the love too. Because Professor Bonds down the road is my local, so.
Local.
One of my locals. So I go there quite a bit, and
and that's fine because you're supporting an LGS. I mean,
and I'll go.
Do I feel bad about feeding the conglomerate that made $17 million a day over the last? No, it wasn't. I know $17 million an hour. I think it was.
Yeah,
some
on the backs of essential workers.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazon made $83 billion in revenue.
Yeah. Dude, his wife left him like the minute he hit like 99 billion, and she was like, wait, 10 years in a day? Yeah, listen, I'm not happy. When does community property kick in California after 10 years? Happy anniversary, honey. Yeah, you too. Hey, listen, my attorney's on his way over. Can you just grab everything you own, put it in the van outside for you? How about that?
Yeah. It's like, honey, there was this guy on the phone. I couldn't understand what he was saying. It's something about half.
Yeah. Prenup? What was that? Oh,
Whoopsie.
Honey, thank you for not making me sign one. Anyway.
And she's giving all that away, too, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. Yeah, well, she's giving all of it away, and she's getting the tax write-off. So
doesn't matter. She's still giving away billions.
I know. I think it's great. So, that's pretty much it. So Commander Craft Wednesday, we have, you know what? I'm just going to say it now. We have a seat open for you. Especially if you're a patron. Patrons first. All right. If you're a patron and you want to listen and you're listening to this show, you'll have until Wednesday morning to get a hold of me. Otherwise, I'm going to open it wide. I have kind of promised Apple Freak, if 2 patrons come in, I'll explain it to him. But, he's got one of the seats for sure. However, if you are a patron listening to this and you want to be a part of Commander Craft Wednesday night, you have a webcam and a computer, then game on. Like, let us know you're in. It's going to be fun. We will move Anthony and Steve to next week. I don't have any problem with that at all. Granted, they're patrons, but they understand that,
I would say if you're interested,
yes,
try to see if you can figure out a way to rig your camera to be directly overhead, if at all possible. I mean,
we can help
I understand
you with that. There's plenty of websites out there that'll show you.
There's
how
technical
to do
limitations. There's physical limitations. That's fine. But if there is any way that you can do that, if you're thinking about maybe trying to play on Wednesday, try to see if you can get a camera set up in that way because it just looks better on the screen. So that and people are able to click on the cards, and Spell Table can, for the most part, pick them up.
Right. Well, here, let me show you. Like how my light. Oh, I don't know if you can see it because of my light, but here, let me. All right, you see, kind of. Wow, that really is.
No, your green screen screwing.
Hold on 1 second, because I do think that this is important. Let me show you guys something here, and I'll probably take this out of the what do you call it? Of course, I won't. The audio. Yeah, but if you take a look there, all right, you see how I have that clip going to my ring light there where my camera is? Folks, that's $4 at Walmart. $4. You can get that at Walmart. Go to the electronics department.
I
Oh
mean,
wow.
my setup was 100% free, so
Yeah, yeah, you're doing fine.
it's jury rigged to hell. I mean, I got two of the BCW 800 card boxes. I stand them vertically. I put two bundle boxes on top of that. I put a yardstick on top of that, and I lay the camera directly overhead, and it is just perfect to get the entire playmat. It's awesome.
Yeah, so definitely worthwhile. We'd love to have you guys. Let us know. And Anthony's like, yeah, it's totally cool if anybody else wants to play. See, Anthony and Steve, they're on board. So, but I think you guys are definitely in next week, Steve and Anthony. We're gonna probably play pre-cons for 2 weeks at least, because why not? It's cool stuff. It's new decks. I'm excited to see what they do. So, and Aramis and I can roll for who's playing what deck. So, obviously, if somebody, what depends on what a listener comes with, then we won't play with that. And then Aramis and I will roll for the other deck. So, all right. With that being said, we're way over. We're already at 1:15. So let's go to.
End step.
So as Aramis and I are rolling up our playmats and putting the cards back in the boxes and taking the pizza boxes over to the trash, because damn it, your mother still does not work in this video store. We want to remind you, this video store? A video store? Did I say a video store?
They still exist.
Yes, there's one. I watched a documentary on Netflix. There is one.
There's one in my in-laws town in near Lee, Massachusetts.
There's a Blockbuster still somewhere in like Wisconsin. It's Oregon. Yes. Yeah.
There's one in Oregon. There's the only one left.
Yeah, there's a Netflix, which is a great documentary on that, because it kind of goes to the excess of corporate America in the 80s and 90s, and then the incredible fall that happened because they were too slow. Kind of like what happened to Kodak and Xerox, but let's not discuss that.
It's actually deliciously ironic, because Netflix offered to sell to Blockbuster, and Blockbuster was like, no, you're not going to go anywhere.
They're like, that'll never take off. So we want to remind you guys that we have a Twitch channel where we stream all sorts of content. Just look up PlanesTalkers podcast. You're probably watching us right now on that channel. If you go to our website, PlanesTalkersPodcast.com, the feed that's on there is actually to our Twitch channel. So just look it up. It's PlanesTalkers podcast. You can also follow me on Twitch. I do stream there. I've been streaming DC Universe Online again. Like, I've been getting back into playing that a little bit, so I'm streaming that. I don't think I'll stream that here. Oh, who am I kidding? If I'm streaming at my computer, I'm streaming that. But I tend to stream it from my PlayStation. So, Mindcrime 73 is how you can follow me there. DCU Online, great game. It has a Green Lantern.
Meh.
There you go, Johnny. That's for an icon.
If you'd rather interact with the show in a more real-time fashion, and you don't want to deal with just, sending a comment on Twitch or whatever, Discord. We have a very active Discord, especially during the tournaments. But even, when the tournaments aren't going on, there's usually people floating around that want to chat about the game or other things in general. Discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. You can find us there. Go on and hop in. We'd be happy to talk with you. If you'd rather follow us on Twitter, we do send out tweets about when we're going live and the occasional other thing. Not super active, but we do send out tweets. And our Twitter handle is @PlanesTalkerPod.
Yes, and my personal Twitter is @WRBenson. Now, I don't tweet all that often. I've been actually tweeting on the Planestalker Pod actually every once in a while. I tend not to tweet on WR Benson. I tend to be there just to follow various people I like Betty White's porn career. So, I go there. Yeah. Oh, it's great stuff, man. You got to see it. I mean, granted, when she breaks a hip, it's amazing. But you can always follow us on Facebook as well. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/planestalker. There's no S on the end because we took that last S off. We gave it to you for savings. And also because some asshole who flies planes decided Planestalkers was his name. Jerk. So like and follow us there. And we do want to remind you, we do a playcast. We do. We do have a playcast that we do every Wednesday where we play Paper Commander live. It's Commander Craft. So tune into all of our channels on Wednesdays around 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're a patron, or even if you're just a regular listener, let us know if you want to play. We're always looking for new blood, man. So we'd love to have you.
My personal favorite of hers is Greased Up Gilfs Get Some Volume 5.
Oh, dude, that was my... Yeah, but you see, they said everything they needed to say with Volume 4. Yeah. I really felt there was nowhere to go with that.
Yeah, but you got to get it in the original Japanese subtitled. It's
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
and letterboxed, of course.
Yeah.
God, what's wrong with us?
Finally, you can send us emails to tell us how terrible we are because that was pretty bad.
That was awful. Like we're talking about a 100-year-old woman's porn career,
She's 94,
and
right?
not mentioning Sylvester Stallone at all, which I feel is important.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go. Anyway, if you have a question about our sanity or sobriety or any combination
Drinking beer.
thereof, or a suggestion for a topic that we can cover on the show, there's 3 email addresses you can contact us with. The first one goes to both of us, and we'll read it. We try to keep up with that as best we can. It's podcast@planestalkerspodcast.com. If you want to email us personally, Will's email address is will@planestalkerspodcast.com. And my email address is aramis@planestalkerspodcast.com.
And finally, and Anthony, way to pivot there, brother. Wow,
Butter.
what the hell is my drink? Oh, it's a double.
Raised up gilfs.
That would be why. That's an 8%er. Let's take that again. Let's try that. Let's take that again. Let's try that again. Okay. And especially this because thank you, Anthony, for pivoting here because I want to remind you guys, I do host another podcast. It deals with the television show DC's Legends of Tomorrow, which is returning. Their first episode, Legends of Tomorrow, is back Sunday night on the CW, which means we are starting to record the podcast again starting next Thursday. We'll probably do a primer episode this Thursday to kind of get the, shake everything off. So you can follow us right there. Go to our website. It's actually our Facebook page is the best place. Go to facebook.com and look up Legends TV Talk. Love to have you guys do that. If you watch that show, it's definitely different. I'm not in charge. I'm more like the third seater. So I get to be a little bit more zany, a little bit more fun, and make absolutely no sense. So it's kind of like our show. Yeah, it's not. But we definitely would love to see you guys there. And we also want to remind you guys, we do have our podcast is out there, obviously. We would love it if you are an iTunes podcast listener. If you could go to iTunes on your phone, your Mac, your computer, whatever, and leave us a 5-star review of the show, that would really help the show bring eyes and ears to it. The more reviews, the higher we go in their ranking, and then we show up a lot higher in a lot more searches, which means a lot more people find the show. If you don't have an Apple account, or you don't have an Apple like iPhone or Mac or an iPad or anything, then you can still help us out if you're at your computer one night and you just want to download iTunes, roll up an account, and leave us a review that way. That would really be great. It does a lot to help the show. It's definitely going to help us go to that next level. We really appreciate it. So we want to thank you for that. And finally, we want to thank you guys for listening this week. We had a great time. We will be back on Wednesday with Commander Craft, where we'll be doing our pre-cons. So we'll be challenging 2 listeners. And then we're back next Monday for the big show, where it'll be episode 98. We do have plans for the 100th episode. We're going to talk about that probably next show. So for Aramis Perez, this is Will Benson saying again, thank you for being listeners. Thank you for hanging with us tonight. And we always want to remind you to remember to keep some of your mana on tap because you never know when you'll need it. Take care and have a great week. Bye-bye. And we're out. Episode 97.
97.
PlanesTalker bumper. No, I don't want to put it on my desktop because my desktop's only a 250 gig SD. So let's put that on the H drive.
Shipping information available on that one that did actually ship.
Oh, good. You don't have shipping information, or you do?
I'm checking to see if I have tracking.
I have tracking for my Witherbloom. They still haven't officially shipped my Izzet or Silverquill. So Prismari or Silverquill.
Oh, my Witherbloom deck is in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, so's mine. I think they're coming from the same place.
Probably.
So, Yeah,
unless
so
the other one's
you'll
shipping like
probably
the
have
next,
to play Witherbloom if nothing else shows up. I'll at least have Quandrix and Lorehold, so I could play
yeah.
one of those two if nothing else. So,
Well, they're
because if
still
you're playing
saying
Witherbloom, I'm not going to play it.
they're still saying Tuesday for all of them, so we'll
Yeah,
see.
this is saying arriving tomorrow by 10 p.m., which means it'll arrive Wednesday.
I mean,
Because
even if it shows up Wednesday, we'll have all
yeah,
5.
right. So I'm pretty excited. Yeah, Anthony, Legends TV Talk is coming back. I think we're going to do an episode this Thursday just to kind of prep for season 6, get people used to listening to us again, get it in their feeds. I don't know how long the show is going to be, but and then obviously I think we're planning to record every Thursday, and we do it live, so it'll be on the air. My wife is not totally pleased with that. She's kind of like, every year she's kind of like, so is this the last year you're doing Legends? I'm like, yes, it probably is. And then they renew Legends, and I'm like, well, no, they renewed it. I'm sorry, I thought they were canceling
I'm done until the next time.
it. Well, I mean, there's been like 18 months between season 6 and now, so
Yay, COVID.
I don't feel too terrible about it, but I won't say that when she can hear me. She's got her kitty ears on, so she can't hear a thing right now. So, I mean, I could sit here and fart really loud, and she won't even know.
Yeah, but the rest of the
Oh, God damn it, she heard me. She doesn't have sound going through her. Oh, my God, you're not playing... Oh, you're not playing RuneScape. You're playing a different game. This is breaking news. I feel like I should be playing the sound effect. My wife, I am a RuneScape widower. My wife is just living in RuneScape. It's a beautiful thing. Hey kids, if you don't know what RuneScape is, ask your parents.
At this point, they might be asking your grandparents.
Ask your grandparents. Oh, I think RuneScape came after WoW, but not much. It actually might have been before. Oh, wow, that's an interesting question. Which came first,
Yeah,
RuneScape or WoW?
Let's consult the wizards of the internet.
Because, here's the thing. I played WoW. I like WoW. Like, every once in a while, I kind of start thinking I want to kind of go back to WoW. And then I take a look at the cost of reentry, and I'm like, no.
RuneScape was January 4th, 2001.
Yes, it was before WoW, because WoW was 2004.
So that was around EverQuest.
Yep. And it's I've tried it. It's not for me, mainly because I'm a big WASD kind of gamer. Like, if I'm playing on a computer, I want a WASD if I'm moving. And this is a click. You click where you want to go, and it just kind of walks there. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, my MMO of choice was not that much younger. I didn't play when it first came out, but I was real big into Final Fantasy 11.
I was into Asheron's Call. That's where I got into MMO, which is wicked old. I mean, it came out in like 99. My cousin Steve got me into that. And then obviously, and honestly, you want to know what it was, which really gave me the gaming bug, was Star Wars Galaxies. The minute Star Wars Galaxies came out, I'm like, I went out and bought all the components. I built my first computer so I could play it. I loved it. And then I was playing City of Heroes when that first came out, because there was no superhero game. Then the minute DCU Online came out, no. I every about 6-7 months, I'll play that for another month or two probably, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm done. Because the problem with DCUO is there's just not a lot of endgame content. It's a lot of grinding and a lot of doing the same thing, and then eventually you're just going to get to what now? And there are dudes who play that game and they get to what now, and I'm just like, how the hell? Like I have so many better things to do. Like right now, I love it because I haven't played in over a year, so I'm rebuilding my characters and I'm getting all the gear and I'm leveling up quicker, and so it's fun. Like, the minute I start to get to endgame and where it's taking me like a day or two to level, I'm like, no, I don't want to play this no more. This is too much like work.
It was for me. It was the endless grind of Final Fantasy 11, and the fact that you needed a party to do anything.
Yeah.
You needed 5 other people to do the quest, which took about 4 hours. Or you're sitting waiting for some monster to spawn. It shows up once every other day. So during these little 3-hour windows, and there's like a 5-minute spawn window, and it wasn't
Yeah.
worth it. It
Yeah.
was a ton of fun while it was happening. And there's plenty of times where I'm like, oh my god, I missed the hell out of that game. But
Can you play it now? Is it still up?
it's still up. They don't do new content really for it anymore, but it's still up.
See, Sony took Star Wars Galaxies down right before they released Old Republic. LucasArts was basically like, we're only going to support one MMO.
Nope. Yeah, they don't do regular updates anymore to Final Fantasy 11. They still do occasional like patches and stuff.
Yeah.
But most of they support that and Final Fantasy 14.
I played SWG from the day it launched. And I mean, I would take months off here and there, but for the most part, I played it pretty regular from the day it launched right up till the day it ended. And I mean, I wasn't in all the time, but I pretty much kept an active subscription most of it. And then when it ended, I'm like, okay. And that's when I got into DCUO pretty heavy. But then about a year during COVID, I started thinking like, God, I would love to play SWG again because we were home. And I know that there's emulators out there. What happened is a bunch of the community went out and Sony kind of released the server code. And they said, here, if you want to make a emulator, go ahead. And so as long as you're not charging, you can't charge for it. So there are a couple of SWG emulators out there. I'm playing on what's called the Legend server. And it's fun. I don't get in too much because I'm kind of like the Legends is it's in the new NGE, which is called the New Gaming Experience. Long story. And I get a little bit bored and I'm not in a good clan. So, but every once in a while I'm like, God dang it, I want to fly an X-Wing. So I'll go fly an X-Wing.
Yeah, it's just like I don't have the for me, if I'm going to get into an MMO, I want to get into it.
Yeah, that's what I like DCUO for.
Yeah.
And Warcraft. But Warcraft is so god. All right, here's the thing, and Anthony's saying this too. He's like, I haven't played it forever because the DLC started coming out. It became pay to win. True. It's not pay to win. It's pay to be able to play those DLCs. It's free to play, but if you want to play this stuff, you either have to pay for the content or you have to maintain a subscription. I maintain a subscription because they also like nerf your money and nerf a bunch of other things. But I'm enjoying the game, so I play it. Wow, the problem I have is every time I think about trying to get back in, it's like I gotta go and buy a $60. They basically release some new versions, upgrades and stuff, and it's like I don't want to pay $60 for a game I may only play 2 weeks.
Yeah, for all the expansions and everything else.
The expansion packs and stuff. And it's like if you're not going to play the expansion, then it's kind of like you could play it for a little while, but eventually you're going to want you can't get into certain raids and you can't. And it's like it's too much like work. So
14's a lot more forgiving than 11 as far as like grind is concerned.
Yeah.
But it's still it's too much time commitment for the money to spend on it, and it's like I want to, but yeah.
You honestly can't right now anyway. The last thing you need right now is an MMO. You're working from home for the first 6 months. You can't.
I already have my time vampire in Magic. So
yeah, that's just it. When I was working from home, my first 6 months, that was one of the times I shut down all the MMOs because my first 6 months, I realized like in the second week, I was like, I'll just roll up and I'll AFK out in the wilderness. I'll AFK my ranger. And then I'm like, I'm going to go fight this. And then I'm like, I lost 2 hours. And then I'm like, nope, that's stealing from the company. And I just unsubscribed. And I waited until I had a really good work ethic as far as working from home. Because that's a totally different animal. Working from home, so many things can distract.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, by the way, my stuff's uploaded. I don't know about yours.
Mine's all good.
All right, cool. Yeah. So, but yes, welcome to the post-game PlanesTalkers podcast.
Yep, where we talk about anything and everything.
Yes. So I love it. Johnny's like, I resubbed for a month to try and get back in and stop playing again after 2 weeks. So yeah, you aren't wrong.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, like,
wife will get you, Johnny. My wife will get you right back into RuneScape. She plays RuneScape Classic. You need somebody to talk to you about it. I can give you all of her information. She's got her own little guild and everything. They don't call it a guild though. It's a C something or
Well, and like here's the
What's
thing
it
for me
called? Your
too.
guild?
Old school?
Yeah, but what's your guild? It's not a guild. What do you call it?
What?
What's your little group there? It's not a guild. It's a
Clan.
clan. It's a
Yeah.
clan. I said
Yeah,
guild,
like-
and she's like, "It's not a guild."
Like
Like,
in
it's a
Final
guild.
Fantasy 11, it was a link shell.
Oh, so
you
they
had-
just
you-
made up a fucking word.
Yeah, there's an item that you have to have in order to communicate with the other people in your group.
Ah,
So and it had a little it was a colored stone next to your name, so you knew who was in what group. But like for me, it's like if I knew the people that I met the first time I played were still playing, I'd be more incentivized to go back, because
Yeah.
that was what I really got out of it, was the social connection.
Exactly.
It was great. The community was so awesome, and it's just
yeah,
miss it.
Johnny. Here's the deal. My wife is in our Discord, and she loves to talk in our Discord. Am I in her Discord? No, because she won't let me. But I let her in mine because I'm a better spouse than she is.
You're
But
gonna get
you
something thrown at
can
you.
feel free to reach out to Song Artist in our Discord. She can, if you want to get back on the crack pipe, she will show you exactly how to do it. That's good, because RuneScape Classic is like what she plays. Oh, she'll get you back in, man. She's your pusher. Yeah, just send her a link in Discord, man. She's your Huckleberry. In fact, you guys were talking about my face that you wanted me to put in Discord or something. So that's her. She lives on RuneScape. She'll get you back in. She'll probably get you all hooked up. So yeah.
Like if I ever win the lottery,
Why am I?
yes,
helping
I'm
her
getting
with
back into
RuneScape?
MMOs.
Oh yeah.
If I'm like independently wealthy and don't have to work, you better believe I'm getting back into something.
Well, that's just it. I don't mind playing. Like, I'll pay for the PlayStation account. I have a PC and a PlayStation account for DCUO, because they can't play. They can play together, but you can't play PlayStation on computer, and you can't play computer on PlayStation.
No cross-platform. Yeah.
Right. It is cross-platform, but you have to be on the device, so it's not like I could sit on
Right.
my computer and play my PS account. So I use my PS mainly, so I play it on there, but I don't pay for the computer one, but I do log in occasionally. So definitely worth, the time, and yeah, I love it. I have a good time, and it's a way to while away the hours. Until my second, if you count Commander Craft, my third podcast starts. So it's gonna be a rough 10 weeks. Like, that Thursday night show for the next 10 weeks is kind of like, I love doing Legends, or I wouldn't do it. I love the fact that I'm not in charge. I'm just one of the guys, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just kind of, I get to say this stupid crazy shit. Like the other guys have to manage how the show goes. So I just get to be like, let me say something stupid that makes everybody cringe. But yeah, I definitely, it's going to be a busy 10 weeks here. So, but
Yeah.
exciting.
It's something you love,
Yeah. Legends TV Talk, Facebook.com/Legends TV Talk. Tell your friends. So, all right. Why don't we get out of here? Because it's getting late. It's already 10 o'clock, and I want to go to bed eventually. So,
Sounds good.
I'm a big fan of bed. All right, so yeah, let me know what decks you get tomorrow. We'll figure out for Wednesday. Again, we have one slot open. So if somebody listening to this wants to play Wednesday, we'd love to have you. Thanks for hanging out in our post game, guys. I should grab these and just cut together an episode of our post game ramblings from like various episodes on the Facebook.
That could be something for 100.
That could be something for 100.
One segment of these. At
Well,
least.
I definitely think for 100, yeah, you guys. What I'm thinking is, since we can't get a hold of any, I don't know of any players we could get a hold of. I did reach out to a few people and didn't hear back. So what I think I might want to do is a full-on call-in show. So, if you guys want to hop in, we'll use Discord, and we'll use the voice chat in Discord, and Aramis and I will be in there instead of Zoom this week. We'll still use Zoom for our voice, I guess, or for our video, and then. Yeah, we'll have Zoom use different audio. So, but we may have we may hop into Discord and have you guys hop in with us, and like kind of what we do with Commander Craft, except, not playing cards. So that's kind of my thinking. We're going to kind of keep thinking about other things to do. I might try to cut together the Facebook post-game shows and just tack it on at the end of the episode. We do a shorter 100th episode, or make the audio an extra long one. All right, good ideas. All right, brother. We will see you guys in a while. Thanks for hanging. We'll be back on Wednesday. Make sure you let us know if you